Hey guys, welcome to week 2. Hope week 1 went well for everybody. So getting started with week 2, the first thing you're going to want to do is to create a Google account. You might already have a Gmail account and that'll work just fine, but if you don't have one, go ahead and create one by going to google.com or gmail.com. It's really easy to do. We're going to be using Google Docs quite a bit. It is a really excellent resource for education. I think it's a really practical tool that I actually use a lot in my own teaching. Even though I have access to D2L and my students do as well, I always end up using Google Docs because it's just a really well-designed program. Some things that I really like about it are that it allows you to share and collaborate really easily. And there's an assessment tool. The form tool here will allow you to create your own assessments. And I also really like the presentations. It's really nice to be able to create a PowerPoint style presentation in Google Docs. And the reason that it's nice is because it's saved to a cloud, to the internet, so that you don't have to worry about, putting your presentation on a flash drive or emailing it to yourself or anything like that. It's just automatically saved to your Google account. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do, is to create your Gmail account so that you can use Google Docs. And then once you have that done, there's a written assignment that goes along with the Google Docs, creating the Google Docs. And so you're going to want to go to this link right here, and this will bring you to a collaborative Google Doc. And so we're using this for a couple different reasons. It's basically another opportunity to introduce yourself in an even more personal way. It's kind of fun too. You get to add a picture of yourself and give just a really brief kind of fun description of yourself as a person. And the secondary purpose of this is to learn how to use Google Docs as a collaborative tool. It's really cool to be able to have everybody in your class, all of your students, add to one single document. There's a lot of fun different things you can do with that. And so we're getting a little bit of practice doing that with this assignment here. Then the next thing that is also associated with the Google account you'll be creating is to set up a Blogger account. And so there is a screencast created by Nick that will tell you how to set up your blog, and this blog is really important for a couple different reasons. The blog is first important because it's your opportunity to reflect on your tech club experience, your experience working in the field with students and technology. And reflection is a major component of being a good teacher. The more you can think about how you've done as a teacher that day, what you would improve, what went well, what you would do differently next time. Doing that after every lesson is going to help you develop and grow as a teacher. And so aside from being an assignment for this class, it's just a really important practice in becoming a great teacher anyway. And the other reason it's really important for us is because it's actually worth about 50% of your grade for your tech club experience. And so you'll be spending a lot of time in a classroom or working with students, but if you are not keeping up with that blog, you will not receive full credit. And so that really can hurt you in the long run if you fall behind on your blogs, and you might not get full credit even though you put forth full effort in the classroom. It's important to put forth full effort with the blog as well. Going along with that, it's important to post your blog and do your reflection really soon after your visit with the tech club. If you're reflecting, 3 weeks later, it's not going to be a very rich reflection. It's not going to be very genuine. And so I do ask that you try to get your reflection posted within 24 hours after your tech club visit. If you're posting all of your blogs, on week 6, I'll be able to tell, and obviously you won't receive full credit. So do make sure that you post your blog within 24 hours of your tech club visit, and that you do one blog posting for every time you visit the school. So there should be 6 visits. All right, moving on. Another important component there is that you actually give me the link to your blog, and it's really helpful if you name your blog something descriptive that includes your own name. If it just says Tech Club Blog, it's very vague, and it's just kind of it's just not easy to recognize whose blog it is right away. So it's just really helpful for me if you can just add your name to the title of your blog. And it's also really important for you to set the privacy settings so that it's open. so that the public can view it. If it's set to private, then I won't be able to see it. And, obviously I'll let you know so that you can change it, but it's just nice if you can do that right from the beginning so I don't have to try to track you down. Okay, and so in order to share that with me, you can go to this Google address right here. And this is a good example of a Google form. I talked a little tiny bit about using Google Docs for assessment, and this Google form is actually like a little quiz that you can make up in Google Docs, and it will automatically, once the students submit their answers and everything, it'll go right to the instructor and they'll be able to see the answers, which is really a cool thing. Okay, moving on. So your written assignment this week, you are going to be coming up with 3 Tech Club activity ideas. And so some important words there are activities and ideas. You're not required at this point to come up with a fully comprehensive lesson plan. You just want to come up with 3 different ideas of what you could do with your students in the classroom that has some kind of technology component. And so these are basically just some ideas to kind of get you going, get you thinking about what sorts of things you could be doing. Like I said, they are definitely not fully planned out lesson plans. They don't need to include any assessment planning or include any standards at this point. So you don't need to worry about that right now. You just need to think about the basics. What 3 things might you want to do? And then some things to include in that right here. You'll want to include your content area. So like for me, I would probably focus on visual arts because that's my K through 12 certification area. So think of which content area you'd like to work in. It might be something different for you. Think about what learning objectives, what goals would you want your students to reach in this activity? And then think about the learning activities as well. This is kind of a really critical part. What actual activities and process would the students go through while they go through this activity? And then finally, you'll want to also include your technology integration ideas. What technology would you be using and how would you use it? And then later on, we'll be going back to these ideas, actually not that much later on next week, week 3, we'll be going back and choosing one of these ideas, the one that you think is the strongest, it's your favorite, it's one that you would really like to do in real life with your students, and then we're going to more fully develop that idea. You might have 3 really stellar ideas, and I think that is awesome. A really important component, I think, of this course and really any other education course you're taking is to create things like lesson plans and strategies that you can actually use in real life later on. So take this seriously and think about lessons that you would really, or activities that you would really like to do in real life in the classroom. And then later on you'll have a nice bank of ideas for when you have your own students. Okay. And then moving on, you also have your discussion board assignment coming up for week 2. And this discussion is going to be based on talking about the advantages of technology integration, how you think technology integration might improve student learning, and also how you think it might affect being an efficient teacher. And so as we get more have more experience doing these discussions, I hope that they can become really rich conversations between you and an opportunity to share your ideas and your perspectives. So please make sure that you're getting your initial posting that answers the questions from your own point of view in early in the week. If you can get it in before Wednesday, that will be perfect. It'll give everybody enough time to, answer the questions and think about what you've written and then to respond. And then after you have your original postings, make sure that you respond to at least 2 other postings. It's really important to keep that conversation going and flowing. And then that's pretty much it for this week. By now you should have already started really thinking about where you're going to have your tech club placement. If you're in Bozeman, you'll be placed by the field placement department. Joe Hicks will take care of that for you. But if you're not in Bozeman, it's really crunch time because this is such a condensed course. You really need to figure out where you're going to be you should maybe be going to a school and talking to administration, or if you know a teacher that maybe you could work with, you should be taking those concrete steps to get it really set up. We don't want to start late because you don't want that end of the session time crunch. It's a time crunch anyway, so the more soon you can start, the better off you'll be. And that's pretty much it. I'll be keeping an eye on D2L and looking forward to hearing from everyone. Please email me if you have any questions. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.